Chapter 5. Concerning the melancholy of departure and the lingering connection to home. The ship's horn split the air, a primal sound that rattled Carrie's ribs. Around her, strangers cheered. She lifted the camera. She had brought her Canon this time, along with a selection of lenses ready in the camera bag, searching for something real, something hers. Up here on the Lado deck, everything was champagne bubbles and squeals of delight as the Queen Elizabeth began a majestic pivot. The late afternoon sun, sinking low behind the city, threw a final theatrical spotlight on the Opera House. It was a postcard begging to be taken, and Carrie refused to take it. Instead, she lifted her eyes, panning past the perfect, sterile beauty, looking for something truer. She found it in the face of a woman her mother's age, her hand clasped over her mouth, her eyes shining with tears as she watched the land fall away. Click. She found it in a huddle of 20-somethings taking a ridiculously angled selfie, their laughter sharp and carefree on the sea breeze. Click. This was the story. Not the buildings, but the leaving. The ship stopped turning, her stern almost under the bridge, her bow aimed straight down the harbour. With a deep vibration, the ship slowly began moving ahead. They were on their way. Next stop, Hobart. The point of no return. Carrie swung her lens around, capturing the raw, shared moment etched on the faces of strangers. The woman with tears in her eyes was smiling now, a bright, brave, beautiful smile. Click. Got it. Her eyes narrowed, deliberately scanning the upper decks with a familiar cynicism. Let's see how the other half lives. Sure enough, there he was. Tweed jacket. Standing 2 decks up in the exclusive territory of the Princess Grill. A champagne flute held casually in one hand as he laughed with a small group. He looked as comfortable and entitled as if he owned the whole bloody ship. My ship, he'd said. Looking at him now, she didn't doubt it for a second. Wanker. Carrie turned away, forcing her attention back to the job. Her job. As she documented the receding skyline, a knot of unease tightened in her stomach. Couples stood with arms linked. Families pointed out landmarks. The thought soured the moment she formed it. This is just how you like it. Like it. She was a bloody ghost at the feast, and the camera was her shroud. This was the part she was supposed to be sharing with Lucy, a running commentary of wicked observations whispered behind their hands. Loneliness slammed into her, sharp and breath-stealing before she could shove it down. It wasn't fair. The one person she needed to talk to reassure herself it was okay to be here. It wasn't just about Lucy, was it? It was the guilt, the selfish soaring freedom that felt wrong. She had to know they were okay, that it was okay for her to be gone. Carrie found a relatively quiet spot near the stern, the Australian flag snapping smartly in the wind, and pulled out her phone. In the background, a TV game show theme was playing. Someone else's noise, not hers.
Darling, how exciting,
Her mother's voice chirped. Hey, Mum. Just wanted to let you know we're underway. We should be passing the Heads in about 20 minutes. If you go out on the deck, you should be able to see us.
We will. Bronwyn's got the telescope ready. Oh, it's all so thrilling. Send photos.
I will. Love you.
Love you too, sweetie. Have the most wonderful time.
The ship cleared Bradley Head. Then the dark scrub-covered hills of Middlehead loomed to port. Nearly home territory. Her heart started a low, heavy thump against her ribs when the ship turned to starboard and the houses of Balgola Heights appeared above Dobroyd Head. She swapped out her wide-angle lens for a heavy telephoto, a professional tool for a deeply personal task. She braced herself against the railing, raised the camera, and began to scan the hillside. Her lens slid past sprawling modern mansions, searching. And then she saw it. Her cottage. Small, awkward, defiantly hers. She zoomed in, her breath held tight in her chest. Steady, Watson. Hold your breath. F/8 for the distance. Christ, that's my mum. She's so small, don't you dare shake now. The lens resolved two tiny figures on the deck, one seated, one standing, waving. Click. The shutter was a quiet, clinical sound, a tiny click to capture a moment that made her own heart stop. She set the big cannon down on the deck. Her fingers, usually so nimble, were suddenly thick and clumsy as she snatched up her phone. "For fuck's sake, Carrie," she muttered, fumbling with the screen. She hit her mother's number on speed dial and, as it rang, lifted her free hand, waving frantically across the ever-widening expanse of water.
Hello.
"Mum, I can see you!" The words came out in a rush, thick with an emotion that ambushed her. "I see you! I'm waving!" A tiny pause, then her mother's voice filled with wonder.
We see you too, darling. Oh, you look so big, so grand.
Carrie laughed, a sound that was half a sob. A single tear escaped, hot and sudden against her wind-chilled cheek. The call was short, a final, fierce connection before the signal dropped. She stood at the railing long after she'd hung up, watching as her cottage shrank, merging back into the hillside until it was gone. The ship cleared the sheer cliffs of North Head, and the protected waters of the harbour gave way to the deep, rhythmic swell of the open Pacific. The land fell away behind them, its details blurring into a smudged green and grey line on the horizon. Before her, the sea opened up, an indifferent steel-blue emptiness that was both a terrifying void and a breathtaking promise. She was alone. Finally.